Good morning, everybody. We are back. The show is called TBR SSF Show. It is myself, the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe. I'm all by myself. No Pete, no no Pete, no Tabino or whatever. Well, Pete is in China. He's going to be in China for 2 weeks, which is good because he's going to see his grandson down there. The son stays in China. Um, and then Jabu is busy with something else. Every Saturday he's not available. And then Sepang, I don't know. The same with Tabicho, I don't know. So I cannot vouch for them. But nevertheless, I'm with you, which is very, very good. Rekaufela, Sisonko, Remoho, we are together on Sesam, Rote, Singwe, the beat goes on. The show is called TBR SSF Show, which simply means the Big R Solution Sports Forum. We are talking lots, well qualifiers. We saw Bafana yesterday, and then what a display, what a display. And then I don't know where you're coming from, but where I'm coming from, I'll tell you my position. If you were at Safa leadership, what would you do with this coach? Hugo Broos, because you know that the old man is old already. He has already said that this is the last lap and he'll be going for retirement. I want to hear your opinion. What would you do? All right. I know we have our group. I have some of Chiefs fans who don't like him because he doesn't select Kaiser Chiefs players. And he put his reasons to say Kaiser Chiefs players have never played for African tournaments for 2 years. And when you play AFCON or well qualified, you need some people with African experience. And then, but he said over and above that, he has selected Mdu Chabalala. And then he said, I'm talking what he said. He said, I see that Kaiser Chiefs has improved a lot, which for me, it sounds very positive. If you look at the fact that Chiefs, they are currently a joint number one with Skukune United. And then we see the rise of Amakosi again, Kosi for life, Kosi Nation, which is good. But if I were me in the shoes of a decision making, going forward, I would appoint Pito Musiman as the next coach for Bafana Bafana. Because I think Pito still has unfinished business with Bafana Bafana. With his experience, I'm sure he'll add value. I'm not neglecting Nane. I'm aware that Nane has been with Hugo Broos, and then I would dare blend Nane with Pito. Well, I know that Pito coming with his team. I would blend Nane with Pito there, or continue to keep Hugo Broos and Nane to develop players at the lower league, your under 21 and all that. Because what I've seen Hugo Broos did, he has unearthed so many talents. That's my opinion, but I want to know your opinion. What would you do with this coach? It looks like we are going to qualify for the World Cup. There are so many things that I like about him, and I must confess, at the beginning, I never liked him. I must be honest. I never liked him. I was worried. Mshishi was not playing, and so on. And then there was noise around the issue of Mshishi. He finally selected Mushishi. And the good thing about it, he admitted that yes, at the beginning, I never took Mushishi as serious, but I can see that he has an impact. You see, for me, he looks like a fundi coach. somebody who knows exactly what he's doing. That's my opinion. And I know they were asking him that this player is not there, this player is not there, what's going to happen? He said, I've got plenty players now. There is a pool of players. That's how confident he is. And one thing that I like about him, that's me, again, is he make his own choice. He make his own choice. He doesn't allow other people to influence him and so on. And he's brave. He's not scared of anyone, whether it's in the soccer authority or what. And I spoke to one friend of mine who's a coach, a developmental coach at one of the big clubs in South Africa. I won't disclose his name now because I didn't ask for his permission to disclose his name. He said to me, you become a good coach if you're arrogant or if you stand your ground. Let me put it that way. If you stand your ground, because arrogance is another terminology again, although we are not English people. Arrogance is another terminology. But he stands his ground and then he does not allow anyone to tell him what to do. That's Hugo Broos. That's me from where I'm standing. And the way he deals with youngsters, that's another thing that impresses me. They were asking him, I think, about Mudau, and Mudau is not in. He said, no, we've got so many players. There are many players that can replace Mudau. It's not that we depend on Mudau. I'm worried that he's not playing for his team. I want him to play for his team. That was his argument. And listen to what he did. He said, I asked Mamelodi Sundowns that, hey man, I'm worried. Mudau is not playing and he's a key player for Bafana Bafana. Do you mind if I talk to him? For me, that shows a level of respect, that he respected Mamelodi Sundowns. He said, no, go ahead, talk to him. Went to Mudau, said there are two things that I mentioned. Kim did not argue with him about what he wanted, but he was not happy about the fact that Mudau was not going to the training. Said that's the wrong way of doing things. Two wrongs never make it right. You see, that on its own impresses me. And we as TBR, we have a WhatsApp group. And I know one of our guys there, Zama is a Chiefs, staunch Kaiser Chiefs fan. He doesn't like this guy very much. And then it's very critical. Like it's a very hard word. He's very critical of him. And then I was asking him last night, I said, Zama, what's your take about the selection now? Because we won 3-0 and we're on top of the log. So what's your take? So now look where we stand. We are number one. And then the points are very satisfactory. 16 points, we are followed by Benin with 11 points. We beat them with 5 points. Okay? And then Rwanda, they are at 8 points. Nigeria, 7 points, who are our nemesis. Nigeria, they are our nemesis. They always give us hard time. And remember, they always compete with us, Nigeria. We know even now, they were the people who were very vocal about Lesotho having not lodged a protest and so on because they wanted us to be docked points. But unfortunately, Lesotho made a mistake. They didn't lodge a protest on time. And, and then Lesotho was threatening before the game, I think it was a mind game, that if you play Mukwena, and then we are going to lodge another protest. Lesotho is there at number 5 with 6 points, and Zimbabwe also at the bottom with 4 points. Now, and I listened to other pundits. For instance, I listened to Thomas Kwenaite, Soccer Beat, talking to Raymond Heck. Well done. You guys give us information. It's important to understand. Raymond Heck, remember, is a lawyer by profession. And then Raymond Hag was saying, look, I don't see it working. Lesotho never lodged a protest. And then, yes, Mukwena played more games. I mean, he had more yellow cards. And I like what Raymond Hag did. He said the responsibility should not lie with Safa only or whoever is there at Safa. Even the players themselves, they must take responsibility. They must have their own notes. All right. And one of the R words, principle, as you know, where the big R, TBR, it's record. You need to have records because these records are important. So the players themselves, they need to know that I've accumulated so many yellow cards and so on. The next game, that means I won't be eligible to play, and advise the coach or the association that I won't be eligible to play. And then he also mentioned Bani Kujane. I don't know whether he's still alive or not. He's mentioned that during the time of Bani Kujane, Bani was meticulous, very diligent. He would take the numbers. He would know who's having how many cards and so on. He had that data, and that data was assisting the suffer not to have to encounter the problem that they encountered. So for me, you know, this is what we want. This is what we want, and we are playing Nigeria on Tuesday. And I think we need to beat Nigeria once and for all so that we cement our qualification. And this courtesy of Supersport, as you can see, I took these pictures from Supersport and FIFA. So these are some of the things that we need to take into consideration. So now my question is, what would you do if you were in a position of decision making? Do you think Hugo Broos has arrived? Because remember, we have already won a bronze with Hugo Broos. And then we have a lot of players. We didn't know about Apolis. Hugo Broos discovered Apolis for us. So those are some of the things that really excites me. And I've already given my position, and I hope you also have your own position. And then, as I say, I would definitely go for Pito. And let him come up with his team. Nane should also be part of that, but keep the old man, keep the library. Even if let's say he's not participating, but let's see how can we utilize the library from the old man. What is his method and so on. That would be me. Oh, but having Nane there because I think Nane would have learned a lot. So that would be what my suggestion. So I would definitely put them pizza and then keep the old man so that we continue to rise. Now everybody takes Bafana serious, unlike before. Before, we're whippy boys. We're just beating and so on and so on. Now let's go to Conca. What is that? Conca Kef. They also played for the World Qualifier. Remember the Messi Inter Miami, they lost their game. They lost their cup final. And then courtesy of ESPN, these are the pictures that I took from ESPN. I hope you can see them. That Messi is leading the pack with the goals and assists. 8 goals and 3 assists. And then he's followed by Luis Diaz, 7 goals, 2 assists. James Rodriguez, 3 goals, 5 assists. And then Enna Valencia, 5 goals, 2 assists. Rafinha, 5 goals, 2 assists. Darwin Nunes, 5 goals, 2 assists. Julio Alvarez, 4 goals, 3 assists. So the king is leading he's leading the pack. Sman is leading. So sometimes I argue, if you start comparing Messi and Ronaldo, to me sometimes it becomes an injustice. The two, they are not incomparable. As Garriga would say it, doesn't even mince his words. Ronald is a very great player. We respect him for the work that he does, but Messi is number one. They lost. They lost very bad. They lost very bad, which was in a palatable thing. And then, as I was talking to Pete, I said the incidents of the games there, they were not good. I didn't like what I saw as far as that game is concerned, because you had Luis Suarez fighting everybody there. I don't know what was happening with Luis Suarez. Uh, Really, I wasn't happy with what I saw. And then, we are told that he has been banned. I know that he has already issued an apology. He has been banned for 6 games of the cup that they were playing for, the League Cup. And I saw the pundits talking about the League Cup. Is it important? He has been banned about 6 games. Is it important or not? But we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, I want to remind you that don't forget that we are a financial company. And then, being a financial company, we are very strong in the belief of people must be educated financially, so that they can be able to do things. We learn ourselves every day. One undergoes the learning because it's important to learn and understand how to do some of these things. It's not easy. There's no school that teaches about money. At the end of the day, you learn along the way how to do things. And then, so very, very important. So the little that one can do is to share the knowledge that one has accumulated along the way. So that is why. Um, for instance, I've written some books so that people can learn from them. The first one, although this one is the second edition of it, it's called Secrets for Becoming Rich. After I discovered how the rich make their money, then I penned down this book because I was a little bit worried about my kids. When they grow up, maybe they'll want to answer that same question. And then I penned down this book. I said maybe they'll learn from it, and then they shouldn't struggle like I struggle because I self-taught. And no one was teaching me. No one gave me a boost. Now I'm from a very poor family, and then I had to push myself. And sometimes I always argue with people and say, I don't understand why I did not become a criminal. Because sometimes when people have things tough, it's easy to become a criminal. It never dawned to my head. I always believe in hard work. That's me. I work hard. And all the youngsters that I work with, I'm trying to show them what hard work means. I don't take little excuse. We have to do the show. I don't see where you are. You don't even give an excuse. That's part of responsibility. You must respond and report as part of the R principle. Why are you not available? And try by all means to avoid being always not available. Here's another book, The Art of Money, by Dr. Darlene Small, an economist by profession who worked at the Reserve Bank for the 3 years as the advisors to the governors of the Reserve Banks. He wrote this book, How to Win the Wealth Game. So it's up to you. If you want to learn, you can go out there and learn. And then there are a lot of resources out there. Here's another book that I wrote, which is called How I Turned 500 Rand into a Million Rand Business. And then you can do the same. If one person can do it, why not? Listen to Elon Musk's story, then you'll understand what do I mean. Listen to Robert Kiyosaki's story, you'll understand what I mean. It's not easy, but somewhere, somehow, there should be a start. And then another book that you can get from us is called Entrepreneur Awakening by Nomsa Masbugo, an entrepreneur from Emalahleni, running a string of business, one of them being a hospitality business. In the hospitality business, we measure you per rooms. And she's got more than 100 rooms as we speak. Just to make you understand, if a room is costing 550, you times 550 by 100, then you can see what do you mean. And when you say, yeah. So, but I know that's not the only business that she runs. She's a consultant. And another thing that I like about Nomsa, his heart is at the right place. He always like helping the youth. He always helping the community of Emalahleni, which is good, because some people need to be assisted. We cannot be all the same, you know. Like I say, you know, no one gave me any boost, but I must say I'm grateful to my uncle. My uncle had money. I learned a lot from him by working for him. I learned by just watching how do they do things. And that man was a hard worker, hard worker. No wonder, no wonder why he was successful. Okay, the other one is this one, how to get out of bad debts. Use other people's money and resources to get rich. And then this one also can get it from us. The rich don't use their money, they use other people's money, which is what? Which is debt. Money is debt. If you want to know about money, you must understand the art of debt. If you understand the art of debt, then you'll be able to know what money is. Yeah, last week, myself and Pete were talking about what happened at Inter Miami. They lost, you know, Luis Suarez, he has tweeted at one of the back room, courtesy of ESPN, the statement. And then, so he has been banned. He has been banned 6 games without playing. So we'll see what's going to happen. And then I listened to ESPN, the pundits, they were talking there that, well, six games is not enough. Maybe was supposed to be banned more, but one of the arguments was because Luis Suarez, there is an indication that he might not be available next season. I'm not sure about that. And then, so then they were arguing that no, if you ban him for 6 games, it's not enough. Maybe he was supposed to be banned 10 or so. And then the League Cup is not one of the serious cups there in America. I don't know. All of a sudden, it was not a serious cup. All along, it was a serious cup. But and then Messi was he hasn't commented much. But according to rumors, apparently at the dressing room, it is said he was arguing that as much as he does not condone what Luis Suarez did, but people should not judge him harshly. He has contributed a lot to the team. And then, but here, this is not an official statement by Messi. This is the rumors are saying what was happening in the locker room. Yeah, so as I say, Luis Suarez went out of his way to issue an apology, to say, I want to apologize for my behavior when the game ended. My eyesight sometimes is a problem. It was a moment of much tension and frustration where just after the game ended, things happened that shouldn't have happened. But that doesn't justify my reaction. I made a mistake, sincerely apologize. It's not the image I want to give in front of my family. The Safas, I think it was Stafas, but it's written Safas here because of my mistake. And remember, I spoke about the history of Suarez fighting. This is not for the first time. But like Messi said, he's a human being, man. And as you can see, he has been banned 6 games. And Sergio Busquets was seen punching a player. And Sergio Busquets is a professional who played just like Suarez, who played what you call, who played at the highest level in terms of the league. He played at the highest level. He played at the highest level, so we don't expect those kind of behaviors from a person like him. We expect him to be always, all the time, to be a professional, at all times. So it was very disappointing to see Suarez did what he did. So, but I hope he will learn out of that because remember, as we said, this was not for the first time. This was not for the first time to see Suarez did what he did. So, so for me, it's really uncalled for. It's really uncalled for. And then, but at the same time, I understand that Messi is behaving like a leader here, and then to say, look, don't crucify him, and then, but we don't condone. But it's not only Messi, and then also Inter Miami, they issued their statement as a club. They said Inter Miami condemns the altercation that took place following the conclusion of the Cup final. These actions do not reflect the values of our sport. We remain committed to uphold the highest standard of sportsmanship, both on and off the pitch. Yeah. If you ask me, I would say 6 games, League Cup, that's enough. What else do you want? So they were arguing that no, he may not even play for that League Cup next season. But what should they do? You know what? We are human beings. Yes, I understand what he did. I totally don't agree. And yet, when I was speaking to Pete last week, I really disagree with what Luis Suarez did. For me, it was not on. You don't do that as somebody whom we are looking up to. You need to always uphold the highest standard of discipline. So that was wrong. Now the Messi special as usual. Remember, he was playing his last game, his last World Cup qualifier game at in Argentina. So it was a very special game for Messi. And then I saw him. He said he's gonna bring his family from his side, family from the wife's side, the kids. And I saw him sharing tears because you know Messi loves Argentina. And then here you've got Scaloni always talking glowingly about Lionel Messi. And then he gets angry. Scaloni says, why should people worry about when is Messi leaving? Allow him. He will leave when the time is right. And guess what? He scored 2 goals against Venezuela last night, or no, or night before. Very beautiful game. I enjoyed the game. If you watched the game, I'm sure you did enjoy. So Manuel Noah, also one of those people, he said, you know what, this man is something else. I remember the day when he dealt with Boateng, you know, when I spoke to Boateng, what happened? You know, so it tells you the respect that this guy wills. He's highly respected. He's really respected by the majority of players, coaches, and so on. That is why he's the best. And remember, sorry about this, my flu is not yet gone. I'm still struggling with it, and hopefully it will work. Now, please continue to subscribe and like and comment about the show. If you want us to do something different, just give us an advice. What do you want us to do going forward? Thank you so much for taking your time and listening to the show and watch at the same time. All right. Like I said, we are TBR SSF Show or the Big R Financial at the Big R Solution Sports Forum with myself, the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe. I thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm sure you are already in the year 2025, and then you are asking yourself, what are you going to do? Some of you have been working for many years, and then now you are contemplating of either resigning or going on retirement. And it looks scary. You're not sure what are you going to do, how are you going to survive, you're worried about your pension, and so on and so on. Especially if you're a GPF member at the age of 55 and above, and you are in those situations. You are thinking, what's going to happen? Remember, the most important thing, you need to think about how can you save the little that you have, in terms of how do you avoid penalties, because when you retire earlier than 60, you'll be penalized. How can you avoid that? Not to be penalized, not even a cent. You also want to make sure that you maximize in terms of the taxation. But get me right, tax applies to everyone. But you want to make sure that you are tax as little as you can. And you want to do all those things. You need somebody who's skilled, somebody who's trained to deal with finance, because tax avoidance is allowed. Because when you avoid tax, you use the tax law. Now, if you want to do that, to make sure that you save as much as you can, don't hesitate. Contact us, TBR Solution, or the Big R Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. And then just say, please, I want you to assist me. I want to go out. So come and share knowledge with me. Now, no obligation. You don't have to make any obligation. Just listen to the facts. After listening to the facts, make a decision. Can listen to us, can listen to others, then so that you're exposed to various information, so that when you make a decision, it's an informed decision. Now, my name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from TBR Solution. Here I'm representing the Big R Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. If you want to know how to get hold of us, just look at the WhatsApp number, drop us your contact via WhatsApp. We'll therefore come back to you. I thank you.